It changed my life altogether. It opened, if you like, opened my nose, to smelling. I mean, he was an extraordinarily busy guy, but he would always help and advise. So he is a very, very important person in my life.
I first came across Jim when he was a senior scientist working at the Pentland Scottish Whisky Research Institute.
An awful lot of companies today have seen the benefit of his involvement in maturation of Scotch whisky.
I met him in 2009, and by 2010 he'd already introduced me to the important manufacturers, shall we say. There were two aspects to his business relationship with us. One was the design of our distillery, and secondly, it was about the relationship building with the cask providers.
Our whiskey is a reflection of Jim and Jim's understanding of how to make a great whiskey. And the fact that we can make a whiskey as good as I think ours is at only 3 years old is really a reflection of Jim's know-how.
Jim gave a presentation on the sensory characteristics of single malt Scotch whisky, and Jim brought a lot of samples with him, and people had a very good time. He got the whisky, he put it in the palm of his hands and he rubbed it like this till it was hot and evaporated, and then he'd smell it. And he said that's how you sniff single malt Scotch whisky. And you could tell instantly that Jim was a personality. He could taste some of the spirit that we made, and I remember once he asked the question of the then manager, did you change the yeast in this because something's different? He was that good.
He knew all about the styles changing, the influence of the wood, but more importantly, because from an analytical point of view, he had the answers. So combining the answers with really looking at it to analysing was a perfect partnership, and it really worked so good for him.
He educated our key people in the technical side of the business. He trained people for many years, so to get to the skill level that they needed to continue the high standards that he himself set.
And he liked to be on the sidelines, he liked to be a coach, he liked to help us all.
Through his cask recipe, his help with the still designs, etc., his spirit literally does live on at Lindores, which is beautiful. We love it.
So this award I think is incredibly important. We rely on legacy. We rely on people who have given something fundamental to the industry, whether it be in production, in innovation, or sales, or just simply being incredibly good at brand building. These people have contributed to the success, the long-term success of the industry.
We would like to recognise that in the Jim Swan Award, and we would also like, as we go forward, to recognise other people who have made similar contributions but may not have received the recognition.
Anything that encourages younger people perhaps, or in the industry, as well as those already of course in the industry, is of enormous benefit.
When I was doing his eulogy way back 2 years ago, sort of summed it up from Ian Chang of Cavallan Distillery, and I really like to read it to you now. Dr. Swan was my dearest mentor, best friend, and my advisor of life in general. Someone who possessed a massive wealth of knowledge and humour, whom I also describe as my living encyclopedia of whisky, the titan of the industry. He will live in my heart and memory forever.